final season of You is finally here. I literally just finished it about 5 minutes ago. I came into my office to talk about this show, and I'm excited to talk about it with you guys. Of course, this will be a non-spoiler review. I'm not going to spoil any of the big twists or turns that happen in here, but the show is out now, so you can go enjoy it for yourself. And I'm really curious to see your guys' thoughts overall for You. For me, I've enjoyed the show for what it is. At times, it's a mature CW show, and at other times, it's kind of a guilty pleasure. I think Penn Badgley has been phenomenal throughout the entire show, and I think there's been some really cool twists and turns. But in the end of the day, I have found that since season 3, ever since Love Quinn died, that the show has very much drastically fallen into a territory of very repetitiveness and honestly just the same old shtick. And I expected season 5 to kind of fall into that, but I was hoping I'd be a little bit wrong. And while again it has its twists and turns, I found that the season was more just fine, even though I did enjoy the conclusion. But that's what we're going to be talking about today, so make sure to leave your thoughts down below, hit that like and subscribe button, and let's discuss You Season 5! Goldberg finally gets to return to New York City, hoping to live a peaceful life, but his past deeds and desires threaten to disrupt his new life. He's now married to Kate and integrated into a very wealthy and influential family, but his dark tendencies are soon challenged by both internal conflicts and external. As we've mentioned, I think the final season of You is just fine. I wasn't blown away by it. I can't say disappointed by it because it's not one of my favorite shows of all time, but I think for the most part, I kind of just walked away with the same thoughts that I've had since season 4, which was a season that the first half I really enjoyed. I liked the difference that it was going for, and then again, it fell into a very repetitive nature. And I think this is going to be different for everyone. I think if you really enjoyed season 4, you'll probably get the same gist out of season 5 and really like the ending, which for me, I found the ending to be good. Because if we're starting with my pros, just speaking about overall what they do this season, maybe not how they get to places, but I found that first, the ending was good. There was a couple different ways I felt that the show should have ended. It ended in one of those ways, but I like kind of the side twist to that. There's always a twist to certain angles that they do, and that was one of the things because it feels relevant to today's standards. As well as there's a little bit of a social media angle into the season and how your viewpoint looks and how society views you, and again, social media views you. And I think for me, it is very relevant. Will it be relevant in 10 years? I don't know, but I like how relevant it is to today's standards, and I think it fits for the overall tone and direction that they overall took the series, especially where we are in our life right now. And when you watch the show, you'll kind of understand where I'm going from. There's certain things that they kind of deal with like how certain social media influencers are against woke. I'm sure we've seen that all against YouTube, like crime junkie stuff and podcasts on that aspects and Reddit users and how this all kind of connects people. I found that to be fun and interesting, and there is an angle and a twist to this that really, when it happened, my jaw actually kind of dropped. I was like, that is a cool twist. Now, the direction that they take it, there's some manipulation, certain things in there that I was like, okay, makes sense for the story, makes sense for certain things that could happen in real life. I like how we're kind of getting this angle, but maybe it didn't fully feel that way. But again, in the end of the day, it did start working out towards the end. And that's where I can kind of say, I know I'm getting a little bit ramble and kind of being a little bit vague on that, but I want to be safe for people who are on the fence of watching season 5. This is genuinely just my reaction right after finishing it. But that is my reaction. It's very rambled thoughts on, I like this, I like this, I like this. Maybe I didn't like how they got here and here and here, but we'll talk about that more in my issues. Now, speaking also about the performances, I thought Penn Badgley, just phenomenal. This is maybe one of the best times as him as Joel Goldberg. I still think season 3 was the peak of it, but the material they do give him here, he does a great job with it. I also want to give a shout out. I really liked Anna Camp this season. She plays twins, and I thought she was fantastic. I really love the direction that they took this character. Alongside this, Madeline Brewer, who plays Bronte, really great. Really great. Love the direction they took this character as well. Really specifically just special. And Charlotte Ritchie, I thought she was great as Kate in the last season. She's also great here. And for me, just all the performances are just great across the board. So you have some cool twists and turns. You have a solid pretty much ending, which final seasons can be hit or miss on how it ends the show, and no one's ever satisfied. There's going to be people who love it. There's going to be people who are disappointed by it. There's going to be people who believe it should have ended one way, and that's just how season finales go. I've always recognized that one, especially I'm reviewing Netflix season finales. The performances, all good across the board. And again, I like the themes and messages that they kind of took along the way. Now, as I've said from the top, though, I found this season to just be fine. And I think my biggest biggest criticism with this season is while it is 10 episodes, it feels 10 episodes too long. I felt the season and the show overall should have ended a long time ago. I actually felt that season 3 bringing Love Quinn in, I understand what they were doing with Joe, but I felt that killing off that character really harmed the show to such a capacity that I really wanted more. And now I'm here waiting for a little bit more, and I just never got that. I never felt that the show got its pacing back, and I always felt that the show in general was just very fine afterwards. It's repetitive. It falls into its same territory, which is what the character of Joe is, but I always wanted more. And I think for me, that is what I wanted from you, was I wanted more. I just kind of left going, it's fine. It's repetitive. I've seen the same things. Yeah, there's a cool twist. There's a cool turn here. But I probably could have seen that coming from a mile away. There was one that got me, but I could have seen it coming. And for 10 episodes, I really felt kind of bored sometimes watching the show because I'd seen it all before. And I really wish the show was maybe 6 or 8 episodes. I did not think that we needed a 10-episode finale. And you might disagree with me, but I found the pacing of this final season to be the big detriment that made me just slowly not care anymore. And that's where I found You Season 5 to just be fine. It's a good season finale, one that didn't piss me off, the one that didn't take like the biggest gigantic twist that's going to really make fans angry, but it's a solid one. It's a solid one and a solid season that finds its path down the road. Again, I know I'm being vague. There is a lot of spoilers to talk about, I guess, especially when it comes down to murder and certain character twists and reveals. But if you haven't seen the final season, I think if you're not someone who's like really cared about the show, I can't say to go watch it. But if you're someone who's followed along, pretty big fan, I think you might enjoy this a little bit more than me, especially if you liked season 4. So with all that said, I'm going to give You Season 5 a C. Solid finale. It's fine. I expected a little bit more, but also, what did I actually expect? So with all that said, guys, thank you so much again for watching this. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, comment down below your guys' thoughts, and of course, until next time, stay classy.